Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Robb Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
All right, so I'm not going to bust your chops about the late arrival because I have, so do not stress out about that.
I'm not.
We're not gonna have a fight about that because I know sometimes you don't want to come in and hassle with that. But I do have to do this.
Yeah, you were 30 minutes late to start yesterday. So
I was 30 minutes, but yes. I understand that.
Yes, I'm actually earlier than you today.
I was here, but yes, I mean it was we had problems. We had problems. So here's the thing. Then you had said you had a hard out. Here's the thing I want to do. So I started. The reason I was late yesterday is I have started coming in later.
Yes.
Because I'm modifying my schedule to your schedule.
As you should.
Well, I don't know about that, but because my greatest
less stress
fear
for you.
My greatest fear doing that.
Yes.
Was that the arrival time would get later, which it did today. And so here's my question.
Yes.
If there's a time where I have to start right at...
Just tell me, I got a hard start.
Can we have a hard start?
Yeah, that's
When is the best time to send you that text?
Oh.
In the morning?
This is a great conversation. And thank you for bringing
this. This is a conversation. I'm being pragmatic about it.
I love it.
Because I'm not...
tell me the night before, because then I'll tell Shannon I can't be more than 5 minutes late because Mike's got to go.
I can't be more than 5 minutes late.
Yes.
Way to make the effort. All right.
Yes.
Let's... That's fantastic. God, I hate you. All right, so anyway, let's bring in our third wheel who is recuperating at home. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes!
Mr. Robb Spiewak.
Yes!
Robb,
do you get the
I don't
feeling
care what
that,
your medical issues are. Get your ass back into the regular show routine so I can just
send
start.
a wheelbarrow. Send a wheelbarrow.
Right.
Do you get the feeling that Oscar was up late last night preparing his rebuttals? He came in with... You were 30 minutes late yesterday, right away.
Well, I was. I mean, technically, I had to apologize because I had all sorts of technical issues with this. Is anyone familiar with it? If anybody has these, okay? This is an Apple wireless keyboard. All right, let me ask you. Well, yours is different. Turn it sideways so I can see it.
Yeah, remember, we bought him a new computer.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
so this one, you notice how mine is round, right?
Don't say it, Oscar. I'm not in the mood.
Mike, do you realize
what were you going to say?
We bought Robb.
He's going to say, we bought Robb a new computer, and then his liver failed.
No, and a full wardrobe. And a week later.
And a week later, he's gone. Yeah. Well, not gone, not yet.
It's a high-risk investment.
I'm not the one who rolled the dice. I said, try to fix it. No, buy him a new one. Okay.
So
going home to have a
Robb
drink.
Rob's liver is healing at home.
All of this new was too much for Robb, so his body failed him.
It sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. That is absolutely
What have we said?
true.
If there has been anything over the last... Oh, and by the way, happy anniversary. April 4th.
You and me.
Third. Sunday was 30 years together.
30 years.
Almost didn't make it.
Oh, no, he almost didn't. But what have we said for 30 years?
He has come in ready for bear today, hasn't he?
Yeah, I wish him all the best.
I wish him all the best.
Yeah. If anyone can get him
30
an
years.
appointment.
Robb and I have been doing shows together in one form or another for 30 years. You know, I was, what are you doing?
That's a long time. The little rubber band pop. It's the rubber band man.
Okay.
Hand me down my walking stick.
Hand me down my walking stick. So every day, last week was the update on your health, and now that you've done that, we don't care anymore. It's just you coming in, to visit and be yourself. You will. And by the way, the listeners have reached out to you. You were telling me that before the show.
Very, very kind.
With a lot of different, wonderful
love.
Generous with their time and generous with their advice, and it's working.
Yes.
A lot of people are helping you out.
Yeah, and we've got a couple ins. I've got a solid appointment at GW at the very beginning of May, which pleases me greatly, especially since the liver doctor took time to review my charts, and he said there isn't any more urgency to get you in before the first week of May. Now, maybe this is him, me being cautiously, too optimistic. That's a good sign, or maybe he doesn't care. But either way, at least that's an appointment.
There are 2 ways it goes, Rob. There are 2 ways.
Well,
it
which
goes.
one do you feel?
I mean, yeah. Well,
I'm
how do
going to
you
go
feel?
with optimistic. I'm going to go with optimistic. I am.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
because what else can you do?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that's a good sign. But also, there's a few back channel people. It turns out that I know through other people that Carrie has reached out to. Hopefully, we'll even get in sooner than that. But if I have to wait to May 3rd, that's a lot better than July. So I'll take it.
Let me ask you. I asked you before, so I know the answer to this, but I'll ask for the listeners. How are you feeling today? How are you chugging along today?
It's as you know, it's a day-to-day basis today. Not a great morning. Tired. And I think has a lot to do with not just total lifestyle change of like what I'm eating, how I'm eating, what I'm not drinking, but I think it has to do with a total revamp of my meds. Keeping careful tabs on my blood sugar. My blood sugar is operating at under half of where it was for what I have to assume months. So my body is probably saying, da Fooq, what's going on?
What the Fooq?
Excuse me.
What the Fooq is happening here? Well, I mean, I would also say, not to be, I don't want to be flip about it, but there's got to be a little bit of, going off the hooch. After all those years, it's not going to be the kind of thing. You're not going to be Dennis Hopper in Hoosiers. We know that already.
No. Right.
But you're not going to say, "I have visions." I have visions. When you talk
you didn't
about
see
Dennis
me on
Hopper.
the sidelines at the game last night.
Yeah, that time when you walked out in the middle of the court at the Final Four, going,
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. They had to cut away to Jim Nance because I was raving at the Final Four.
I think but it's probably still with that length of time. That's a shock to the body too, and you're eating differently, right? Because of how are you in the weight? Has it affected the old weight loss too?
This is crazy. I am down since St. Patrick's Day. I am down 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Technically, 5 of those days you were intubated, so you couldn't.
Well, no, I was never intubated.
Intubated.
But it's known as the broth and stress diet. But it is. It's the kind of thing where I went to a second scale in the house to check because when I weighed in when I got home, I said, "Well, that can't be right." And yeah, I mean, it's just there's a lot of adjustments going on, which is actually great. Well, no. Now I can button the jacket.
You in the wardrobe.
Remember
I did an auction that Carla put on FaceTime Live, which Oscar accused me of not being able to button the button on my jacket, and I can.
You opted. You opted not to.
I opted not to. I thought I looked good with my left hand in my pocket, but no, it's there's just
like
you know
a
what
Sears
it's like,
catalog?
right? I mean, when you're talking about fatness. When you're talking about fatness, school clothes, Sunday go to meeting clothes, church clothes, forget it. I mean, the best thing. Yeah.
Oscar bought me 2 beautiful sport coats at Joseph A. Bank, which, just about tops off at my size, right? And after the alterations, the man looked at me and he said, he has chalk in his hand and a tape around his neck. He says, "I will let this out as much as I can, but let us not button it."
Oh, really?
So now
you were
can
maxing out.
Now you can.
Now I think I can button. Now I think I can button.
I love it.
Yeah.
So welcome. It's great to have you here, and
it's great to see you guys.
When you're having a bad day, when you said you had a bad morning, is it primarily fatigue? Is that primarily? I mean, it's not like stomach issues or anything like that.
No,
right?
no. As far as that goes, I mean, and you asked me, have I had a day since I've been home where I felt like I should be back in the hospital? Absolutely not. But there are days when, I'll get up and I'll do something as simple as, put a few dishes in the dishwasher or, make a bed or taking a shower or something like that. And sometimes it's a piece of cake. And sometimes it's like, wow, let's catch ourselves here.
That's the blood probably that you lost blood, right? I mean, you've
a lot of blood.
Isn't the liver the filter to the body from what I've been reading? So I imagine that affects your energy level as well because you're still recuperating, right? You're still recovering.
Yeah, and I imagine there's probably, I mean, who knows right now if I am, for lack of a better word, a little polluted. I don't know. And that's the kind of thing. But the most recent blood scores, everything was pointing right. Which is good.
Right.
So that's something that's very.
But it's not as simple as having like an old Brita filter that you just swap out.
No. You can't get on the Target.com through the Michael Mara
Yeah, but it's
logo.
important. And look, I like to keep an optimistic attitude towards these, and I know you're an optimistic guy too. And it's you are still. Let's make no bones about it. You are still in the great unknown as far as what the future holds. You know.
And I'll say this, Mike. As far as optimism, I am as optimistic as they come, probably, and. That's been tested, and I think that a lot of the weariness, fatigue and weariness, I guess walk hand in hand, has been the fact that if I stop and let my mind wander, I'm still at a point where I don't know where I'm at. And that is something.
And we're all in that
really,
same boat with you. Yeah. We're all in that same boat with you.
Well, you've been wondering for 30 years.
Well, I was my question, and we'll get off this because we did it last week, and you've been very, thank you for your honesty and telling us about your situation.
Yeah, well,
here.
I'm not proud, but let me give me 20 seconds here. I got no fewer than 3 dozen emails from people that say, I saw symptoms in myself that you saw leading up to your situation, and I'm quitting because of what you said. I'm going to change my lifestyle because of what you said. And I said, that is as rewarding as anything as anyone could write. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
And if you got that message from me, or that email or that text, I want you guys to know I mean it. Right now, I'm having a fairly easy time of modifying my lifestyle. I don't know that it'll continue to be easy. It's going to be very different in a social setting. But as far as being at home, I've been okay. I have been okay. I don't miss it right now. And everyone is different. That's for true. But most
of we should point out that most of your hooch consumption was in your house.
Yeah, you're at ground zero right now.
So you're. I think that's good news. Yeah. I think that's good news that you're in that situation. And the question I was going to ask you about your physical health and the way you're feeling prior to going into the hospital. I mean, I remember a guy coming in that day, plenty of energy, plenty of that. The actual, so I think you're spot on with the kind of meds regimentation that you're on, with the withdrawal, which is still obviously a thing that you have, and also I think psychologically the not knowing where, and for those of you that are just tuning in. Robb has some serious liver damage that's been done because of a lifestyle and that he's modified right now.
His liver has been on spring break for 10 years.
And so we don't know where that is and how severe it is. And I do know, I've read, and I know certainly Oscar has read, and you've read too, Robb, about where we are with this. Is it as grave as it has been in the past? Probably not, but it's also very, very serious. And there, I think, are, at least I read one article about there are, medications that are sometimes tried on a trial, new medications. Yeah. And there's, but the not knowing until, you get there, nobody's hit you over the head with it yet. And so, we just keep our fingers crossed.
But I also, go ahead, Oscar, I'm sorry.
I have a question about the insulin.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel full? I've never been comfortable enough to ask a diabetic what the insulin does.
It brings your blood sugar down. It does what the pancreas should do.
Okay.
But if the pancreas has been taxed, it can't keep your blood sugar down. So the insulin I take, for anyone who cares, statistics, I take 9 units in the morning, 4 units in the evening, and it's very cool because I grew up with my dad. I mean, I can almost not even remember a time before my dad wasn't needle dependent on insulin. Yeah. So I've seen him take shots my whole life. This now, it's a pen where you actually twist it to 9 units or 4 units.
Gadgets.
And you hit the button and it's spring loaded and it goes in. So you don't have to keep little bottles. You don't have to draw a syringe. I do remember when the nurse was teaching me how to do it, she said, you want to go into the fatty part of your stomach. Do you think you have a spot? I said, have you seen me?
Oh my God! Have you seen it?
She said,
hey,
"You're going to want to." I said, "You said you're going to want to pinch it." I said, "Bring me some vice grips because it is." There be plenty.
So how about your appetite? Little things like that. How is your appetite since you've been through all this?
It's been good. I could eat a lot more, but when you check, I'm checking also. And also, a lot of people say, oh, my God, it must suck to give yourself a shot twice a day. The shot is nothing. What sucks is checking your blood sugar because that involves a finger prick every time, and you just run out of places. And the prick,
well, don't they have things for that where you could get something like put on you that monitors it
implanted,
all the time?
Yeah, but that's down the road, and that's the way to go.
God, you are a hot mess, man.
Yeah.
You are a hot mess.
Tell me about it.
Like you left your. This is what's and thank you for sharing this, Rob, because most people don't realize. And Mike, you highlighted it just now, but like it struck me that he left. He literally left, and then on Wednesday, and now he's out of the hospital at home. But from like it literally happened
2 weeks ago Wednesday.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago Wednesday, and you sit here, you're like, oh my God, it might be 3 actually. You sit here.
Was it 3 weeks ago? Was it 3 weeks ago?
The 16th was the last show I did, I think.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
And your life completely changed.
It has. And it feels, and to be perfectly honest, it feels like 100 years ago.
Wow.
That we did the last show. But as far as appetite, I could eat, I can eat clean. I avoid carbs. I focus on protein and vegetables right now. And even that, I could eat a lot more, but I try to, rein it in. And it's a balancing act is what it is. And you do the best you can.
Do you miss Costco?
Costco misses me. Is it weird that they sent flowers?
I just think I feel a lot of hope for you. I really do.
Yes,
I think
you.
that being honest about it. I'm so gratified to hear that you have motivated people that are maybe thinking, hey, that's kind of my lifestyle as well, and they've
if there's
tweaked
anything
it a little
positive if anything positive comes out of that is this. I mean, I really want to make sure that I come out of this as, strong and healthy and better than when, I was at my very best, 20, 30, 50
You've
years
motivated
ago.
me. Yeah. I mean, I did an auction the other night, and I was drowning my sorrows after the auction, and they served a very nice wine there. And after the auction, asked me how many glasses I had after everything was over.
How many?
40. It was...
Mike!
It was...
What are you doing?
I was on fumes yesterday. Nobody knew, but I was on fumes yesterday.
Oh,
I had a golf outing yesterday, and I was just like,
I bet people knew.
No,
He had
it's just
himself
great on the show.
A nice cast of Sauvignon Blanc.
yeah, like that. But look, I think that that's the good part too. It's a little frustrating that still, when you say May, and I know that some people move things around to get you in that early. It's just amazing when you're talking about serious health questions that that even that can't be front burner.
He is doing everything
he
can though by staying clean and eating clean.
And that's, I know Robb. I mean, Robb has will. I mean, he does. So, I mean, the fact is, I remember.
I have all of Liddy's books.
I mean, well, yes, that's right, John. Why does it say my internet connection is unstable?
We don't get that. You look great here.
Am I doing okay? But
yes.
You guys are.
Did you get the same thing after the auction?
Yes. My internet connection is unstable.
But internet connection was in quotation marks.
All right, I have to share this with you,
Please.
Robb. You're going to get a kick out of this,
right.
okay? Because
All
I'm
right.
embarrassed. So I did post game after the auction.
Sure.
Because it's a lot of stress, and then this is what
and if you, Mike, and also forgive me for not listening to the show every day, but if you had to rate overall your performance, the crowd's reaction, the success of the auction, 1 to 10, 10 being a grand slam, 1 being no good. How would you rate the auction overall? And be honest with
4.
me. A nice solid 4.
It's just not fun. And
Yeah,
I was,
know, it's
and
the
then
worst.
it was
It's
like
the
I
worst
didn't get the info that I was supposed to get. I didn't get the. I say, well, you
Need-
know what the rule is? When I
need
do a
the
thing like that, I
info.
said, just give me the information on a little index card.
Yes.
Just do a summary
That's
of
all
it.
you need.
Somebody, one of your people, do that. They didn't. Carla was
Tried.
with me 2 years ago at the auction and sat at our table. There was confusion over that, where they gave Carla a hard time for sitting at our table, which was not accurate. Which if you want to push me away, do that, because I'm sitting there. Are you kidding? Because she was made to feel like an interloper, and she wasn't. She was there last year at the same 2 years ago. So at the end, this is 12:19 a.m. on Sunday.
Ooh,
as I'm driving back with my wife driving.
Yeah.
I say, I've appreciated my time raising funds for your organization. Good luck with your future endeavors. Is that a cryptic email, or is that does that come across?
You
as
sent
I'm
that
not-
email?
I sent that email. Yes.
Well, for one, was it a text or an email?
It's not. It was a text.
Were you able to do it in under 15 minutes?
No, it was just my way of kind of. I
Yeah.
don't want to do it. I don't want to go through it. Oscar knows how much angst I felt over it. I don't want to do it again, but I will if I'm asked, and that allows me that text. I think.
Yeah,
is
sure.
good to go.
They'll want you
Where-
back.
No.
Yeah.
If I'm asked, I think so. You think it was not over the top mean.
It's at
No, but-
midnight, and the tone alone speaks.
Well, the tone is truth.
Well, what they did, Mike, is although that
That's your
you
rebuttal.
you did not, and that's the name of your autobiography.
Tone,
The
is truth.
Mike,
My
what
tone
that
is truth.
when they got that email, when they woke up, or that text, they said, the door's not shut, but we hear the creaking of the hinges.
Yes.
You're shutting the door. You haven't
Well, that's
shut
fine.
it, but
And
you're
but I
shutting
mean,
the
it
door.
could have been could have been.
Pro tip:
well,
I have written texts like this in the past. I copy them and put them in my notes because I know it's probably not the best idea if I'm hammered.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mike, do you have
Hey,
the
look,
notes out?
it was a lot. Look, I modified my whole behavior.
I
that
know.
night, right?
I know.
And it just it was like
You've been under
it
a
was
lot
like,
of pressure.
It was like a steam release. One side, the other.
You know what I'm going to do?
I'm gonna
I'm
shout
going to text
down.
them.
Okay,
Carl, what do you
I'm
think
gonna-
of this?
Yeah,
I
know this is
wish
supposed
you
to be
luck.
Rob. This is supposed to be Rob's situation.
That'll show.
He's getting better.
Yeah,
He's
he
getting better. Yeah, and so Oscar, put the pressure on him. I'd like to see more of him.
He can't even
Anyway,
drive yet. How are you going to get?
Okay,
how are you gonna
all right.
get him anywhere
all right.
close?
Well, no,
to us?
not to come in, but he can do this. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
he's
I mean,
fine.
it-
You look, as long as you're strong. He said you might come back Thursday, right? You might come back Thursday.
Yeah, I'd like to visit on Thursday.
Okay, very good. I'm not. There's no pressure.
Yeah,
I miss you horribly.
Let's take a beat.
I miss you so much.
Last I
really
talked
do.
to Carrie, he said that you couldn't drive. So let's not fast forward that.
Exactly. Yeah, but I said the same thing about Carrie. Hey, but
Hey, wow! I want to tell you. So getting back to you, because it's not about me and I just, since the subject of alcohol came up, I think
Right.
you are motivating a lot of people, Rob, to reevaluate the whole thing. And look,
Yeah,
we
I
have a
hope I
big
am.
audience of drinkers. They like to have their hooch. They have
Yes, they do.
societies. They have a beer society. They have a wine society. They have a whiskey society. And look, in moderation, all things. My father used to say, moderation in all things, including moderation.
very
Which
true.
I thought was, fair.
But
How you doing,
but
Bill?
but let's be clear. Rob is past that point. Like, there's no moderation for him anymore.
There's no moderation
No,
for
we're
Rob at
done.
all. I
We're
know
done.
that.
Was
I know
it
that.
was
I
it
wasn't
hard
saying that.
throwing away all the booze that was in the house, or did you donate it?
I did not have to worry about that because when I came home, it had been done for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
Really nice.
Yes.
Well, no, now don't say it like that. That was somebody who loves you taking care of
I know,
things.
but someday I hope to have a guest. And
Oh no, those days are numbered, Rob. Come on.
You think?
What do
no
you mean,
guest?
having
No,
days in general?
The
or,
days
or
of
what do you
him
do?
standing in front of somebody having a cocktail, that's years away. Like, it's not something that he should
Oh no,
be-
you see, that's
I
the thing.
think I
I got no problem with someone having a drink in front of me.
Well, yeah, but at a social event, but you shouldn't have alcohol in the house.
All right, so there's none alcohol in the well. I lied. There's some Miller Lite in the refrigerator for my mother, but I wouldn't drink that swill. Not even if I was healthy.
Very good. We'll allow that.
It's,
We'll allow-
Thank you.
baby steps.
So
Yeah.
when you came home,
I
the
got
hooch was out of
actually,
your
Mike.
house?
It was out, and I got an email, actually a text from the Virginia ABC store that said, Good luck in your future endeavors.
I shouldn't have said it, but I did. I don't care.
Oh, it's fine.
I didn't
It's
get
fine.
any response, so it might not have even been seen.
I have some show and tell. Just to let you know the faith
very good.
that the nurses had in me when they discharged me. They said,
Okay.
And also, Mike and I were talking before you got here, Oscar. It was probably, just like 40, 50 minutes after 9. And they, the nurses, a lot of the nurses, and most of them are great, but some of them are sort of like a Jan Hooks, Julia Sweeney character from Saturday Night Live, which is, hey, are we going to have beef or chicken broth today? Chicken, they say,
Perky.
how's your balance? I said, my balance is fine. And they said, yeah, you're kind of slow getting up from the bed. Yeah. I said, well, when you spend 23 hours, 45 minutes laying down, sometimes it takes you a second to get your bearings. They said, well, we're going to send you home with something. And here is my walker.
Oh, no. Were you wobbly when you were in the hospital, when you got up?
Be honest.
The first couple days, yeah, I did use the walker just to get, for the 6 feet it took to get to, to go to the bathroom.
Poor Carrie.
But, and it's great. It must be like your house, Mike. There's rails everywhere.
I've got canes in storage. I have stuff that I'm saving for later. Rob, not to put you to work, but can you send me the falling down sound? When somebody falls down the stairs.
Yeah.
That's
definitely need
sorry.
it now.
And Oscar, tell me if I'm asking too much.
No.
This is Mike. Actually, if this segment goes much longer, I can probably record it for you live. Okay. This is the deluxe folding walker, 2-button with 5. Oh, look, Oscar got the joke on the third bounce. That was good, Oscar.
There's a delay.
Yeah. It is it's the zip unit, and I love when.
Are you going to be used? Do you think you'll need that walker at any point?
No, Carrie's already. She says, "Well, I guess we could sell it." I said, "Leave the tags on it." But the best thing that the nurse said is, you're going to want to put tennis balls on it. Yeah. Otherwise, it makes so much. Do you have hardwood floors? Yeah, we do. Yeah. You want to put tennis balls on it. That'll help. And also, if you really want to roll the dice, and this is something, you live, you learn, and there's just things that, like, for example, this morning, I haven't taken my morning meds yet because one of the things I'm on is Lasix, which is great because I'm starting off at 5-2 at the Derby this year. But Lasix is a diuretic, and you pee like crazy for 6 to 8 hours after
That's
you
to take all the fluid,
and that's probably has a lot to do with the
swelling
weight
out
loss.
of your testicles. Right.
Wait do you see, Oscar, wait do you see my gorgeous ankles now? I've got them, baby. I got ankles.
So all these years where you've been yelling at us for taking shots in the wild of your ankles, you've just been holding water?
Probably, yeah.
Oh my
I could have saved Arizona. But here's the thing. Here's the gamble of all time that I didn't put together until it was too late.
Yeah.
Is if you're trying to do a veggie-heavy diet and your wife makes you some beautiful roasted asparagus for dinner, and that's the main thing that you have to eat for dinner, and then the next morning you have Lasix.
Oh, that's nasty.
Gross. It's always
It's
fluids
bad.
with you. You're back.
Yeah, I had asparagus last night. I always forget when I haven't had asparagus for months, and and it's served. And then it's horrible. There are people that don't react to it. There are people that actually can eat asparagus, and they don't have that and they don't have that smell in their pee. Black.
It's a genetic thing. The first person to note it was Ben Franklin, who was the greatest founding father to talk about fluids. I think he
talked about the smell that in your.
He was the first person to draw the correlation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because does anybody have a memory of the first time you eat asparagus and then you think, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Right, as a kid, you have that, and then it's there. It's terrible. So it sounds like they've got you on the right drugs then, right?
Yeah.
Yo.
Everything's good.
When you come back on Thursday, are you going to be ready to tell?
Hey, settle down.
What's that?
No, don't put any pressure on him to come back on Thursday.
Well, he said he wants
Oscar
to come
had
by
a
on
bit
Thursday.
planned.
No. I want to make sure that he.
Well, if he comes back on Thursday, all right. If you live to Thursday, would you? Are you going to?
You're supposed to keep his stress level down.
I'm keeping his stress level down.
Thump, 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 thump.
He tried to drive to work on Thursday.
You know you're not allowed to get any sicker. You understand that, right? From me, you know that, right? You're aware of that?
Oh, it's Mike. It's in the contract. I read it. Yeah.
You did.
Yo.
Thank you. If at some point, because Rob, you said this to me early on when I was talking to you privately, that there apparently
I love you.
is some. Would you like to share it? I think we can use the word. Would you like to say what I refer to you as now with all of our loving communication when I say looking forward to it? Yeah.
Yeah, a-hole, but you spell it out, which is it's so.
Looking forward to it,
really,
a-hole.
It really is a beautiful,
In text form, it's
thing
wonderful.
to see written out. Yeah,
It's sweet, you know.
To me, it's reminiscent. If we can take a step back to Cannonball Run, before they realized that Dean Martin is a fake priest, and Dom DeLuise says, "That's a lovely car, Father," and Dean Martin says, "Thank you, asshole."
With the priest
sorry,
suit.
but-
I love it.
Yeah, sorry, Pony, but
I would like to hear the story the next time you join us. No pressure.
Yes.
Of the catheter. That's what
my
the
God,
Foley
it's-
catheter. I would love to hear that.
Okay,
Don't
I'll
tell
just
it now. Don't tell it now.
Just a brief teaser. I'll say this.
Yes.
They'll tell you to cough. It doesn't help.
Oh,
Yes.
But before
Lord.
Mike,
Say, Rob.
before I go,
Yes.
I wanted this is a word I've warned everyone about: overeating, about overindulging. I've warned people about the drinking, but here is the real reason I'm here is mind your computer manners and what you say and do online. Because if you think for a moment they're not listening in and Facebook isn't targeting you with ads, you're wrong. You're wrong, brother. Because how many times have you mentioned, like, oh, maybe I need a pair of shoes, and then there's all of a sudden there's shoe ads in your Facebook feed, or
Right.
you know what, or anything like that, right? So all this week, all I've done is sit in front of my computer and research about the resilience of the liver and platelets and hemoglobin and blood replacement and how fast your marrow should be replacing blood. For the last 4 days, I've gotten a targeted ad on my Facebook page. I printed it out. I'll show it to you in a sec.
Okay.
It's I won't name the company, but the headline reads, "Breakaway special effects glass bottle props and more." I said, what's this? It says, "Our washout Pro Formula stage blood contains no corn syrup or sugar, so no more sticky messes. Saturated with color, just the right thickness, our Hollywood quality blood won't bleed your budget dry." So what they want me to do is buy a gallon of stage blood.
There it is.
Which is no good because you know what? This is not real blood.
That is nasty.
But the only thing I can imagine is that they're seriously the same metrics that track whether or not you want to buy a watch. Say, this guy needs blood. What kind of blood does he need? He needs
Stage
Hollywood blood.
Yeah, do
But
not
the good
inject
news is,
that.
Mike,
all right, do
with
not
no
inject
corn
that.
syrup with no corn syrup, it's great for diabetes.
You know, I'm
so if
always
you
been
want to do like
fascinated
if you want to do like a type 2 version of Carrie, you're set.
Just pour it right over the head.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and it's not even sticky. But I went to their website. They also sell breakaway bottles and rubber handguns. What a fun website.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, Bobby, it's good to hear from you again.
Love
and
you guys
sound
so
better
much.
than you did last week. You get better, get stronger, and mind your P's and Q's,
Yes.
Pally.
I will. Thank you, everyone, for reaching out. I've got to go put tennis balls on my walker. Yo.
We'll see you next time. Bye, Rob. We'll be right back.
Oscar, it is your father.
I listened to The Mike Show.
The Mike Show.
And then
The Mike Show.
there was a segment on The Mike Show where you talked about me dying in the list you gave me.
I am disappointed in you.
Am I your payaso? Which means, am I your clown? Am I your clown, right, in Spanish?
Why, you're clown.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And it sounds worse in Spanish.
Yeah, payaso.
Like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
Your brother's being pushy. Tell him to back off.
Say hello to my little friend.
Don't be un payaso. The TMOS bonus show is an extra uncensored hour of La Diversión every week. Order a subscription today by clicking the banner at MikeOMaraShow.com, and you'll have a plethora of the Mike Bonus Show.
Payaso.
Hi, Yasso. So what do you think? I think he sounded better than he did last week. I know you came in from
I was
the
startled by
Uber,
his weak voice.
right away.
Pony, move the cursor off of Mike's face, please. You're driving me nuts. Thank you, for God's sakes.
I think he sounded pretty good.
I disagree.
I was pleased with it.
I disagree. Let's not push him back.
Stop it. Jesus, Oscar. All right, welcome back to the what?
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah, because you give him, if we pressure him too much.
I'm not pressuring him.
Yeah, but when he
what
says,
makes you think I'm
he says,
pressuring?
I'm going to be in Thursday. And I'm like.
He said that to me.
I know.
He wanted to come in Thursday.
You
That's
say,
all.
how about next Thursday? Give him a little runway. Because he's a broadcaster. He wants to get back in here. I get that. But I also don't want him to crash on 66.
Shut up. Anyway, this portion of our show is brought to you by Our Crowd. All around the world, tech companies are innovating and driving big returns for investors. Our Crowd analyzes companies across the global private market, selecting those with the greatest growth potential. Then they bring them to you. Mm-hmm. Everything from personalized medicine to cybersecurity to robotics to quantum computing and more. Our Crowd is identifying innovators in state-of-the-art labs, startup garages, and anywhere in between. So you can invest early because that's when growth potential is greatest. Our Crowd's accredited investors have already invested over $1 billion in growing tech companies, and many of their members have benefited from the 46 IPOs or sale exits of their investments. Now you can truly diversify your portfolio by investing early in innovative private market companies at Our Crowd. Join the fastest growing venture capital investment community at ourcrowd.com/TMOS. That's ourcrowd.com/TMOS. And I wasn't pushing. I get excited when we see Robb. I can't help it.
You know what you could push for is me flying down to see you to help you with your new studio.
We'll talk about that. That's going to be included in today's show.
I'm okay with that pressure.
Oh, good. I like that. Okay.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is the homepage, ladies and gentlemen. And Martha Stewart shared the passing of her cat, but it's not going well for her because she shared that news because the cat was killed by her 4 dogs.
Oh,
this is nasty.
No.
This is weird. And Martha's getting a lot of blowback. She posted a photo of a grave being dug and said, here's her quote, "Burying the beautiful and unusual Princess Peony, the 4 dogs mistook her for an interloper and killed her defenseless little self. I will miss her very badly. R.I.P. Beauty." Sounds like maybe Martha's like lighting up a big fatty before she sends these messages out. Martha also shared a photo of the cat, who was a calico Persian. Unclear how many dogs in total Martha has, but she appears to be talking about the 2 French bulldogs and 2 chow chows that she has already posted about. So people are wondering, how could not 1 but 4 dogs mistake a cat as an intruder? A lot of people are ripping Martha, pardon the pun. They're calling Martha out for even sharing this and saying it shows that she's an irresponsible owner. Some even think she should get rid of the dogs before they attack something or someone else.
Mike, I had a chow chow in college. My roommates in college went to the local, nothing like a Morgantown pet shelter. And they
West Virginia Mountain Mama.
We got a slightly used chow chow that lived with us. His name was Tyson for 3 years.
Was he aggressive?
2 years, 2 years. And that mother effer, like if you did not live in his house, he was a wackadoo. He was vicious in some sorts.
They're tough.
They're
Chows
tough
can be
dogs.
tough.
Yeah.
Very, very
guard
difficult
dogs. And by the way, I don't blame the dog. It's our fault because we thought it was funny. Because all our friends would come over, they get scared. We're like, don't worry about him. Tyson's just messing around. Feed him some treats.
Back off, Tyson. We just named you after a killer boxer. There we go. Selena Gomez has 65.7 million followers on Twitter and 309 million on Instagram. She's one of the most popular human beings on social media, but she's never actually on there.
Yeah.
She told Good Morning America that she hasn't been on the internet for 4.5 years. She says, quote, "It has changed my life completely. I am happier. I am more present. I connect more with people. It makes me feel normal." Selena was on the show to promote her new online mental health platform, Wondermind, which just launched yesterday. And I think she broke her rule and went on to promote.
She's got to promote it. If you own it, you got to promote it.
Got to do that. Yes. I can see if you broke away from social media. I don't think any bad can come out of that.
Think about what social media at its core is feeding. It's feeding your ego.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're already a global superstar, that's the first thing you just say, I don't need that. People know I'm famous.
Go away. Keep away from it. Imagine the cruelty when you have millions of followers. That's got to be a little difficult.
Or the girls you could meet, Mike.
Oh, man. Yes. Sunnier days. Squid Game. You know that. Pony, turn that music down because I'm going to turn this music on. There it is. One of the great themes. You're going to die. If you thought Squid Game was too violent, this might not be for you. The creator of that show, Hwang Dong-hyuk. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He is working on a movie that he says will be even more violent.
Oh, my God.
It's a working title at the moment, and it's called Killing Old People Club. Jesus. And Hwang says he might have to hide from old people when it comes out. There's no word on the plot, but it was inspired by the works of the late Italian intellectual and author Umberto Eco, if that helps.
I think
Killing Old People Club. There you go. I turned that off. It's killing me. I hate
Squid Game was its popularity was also driven by the pandemic. The sense of hopelessness we all had when you watch that show, you're like, I could see myself signing up for that.
Weird. It's very, very weird. And, it's just, I didn't know. Look, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the phenomenon that everybody said it was, but I watched it, and it was interesting, and I'd like more from that guy, so I might check out the Killing Old People Club.
They sure do know how to stack bunk beds.
Yes. Or they die. Speaking of death, sorry, but a Maryland rapper, this is in your backyard, he goes by the name Gunu. He was shot and killed during a robbery last month, and this past Sunday, friends and family gathered for a memorial concert at the Bliss nightclub. Do you know Bliss in D.C.?
I'm very aware of Bliss, yes.
People paid $40 a pop to attend, and they were treated to a special onstage guest, the rapper Gunu.
Yes.
He was there. That's right. His embalmed body was standing on stage dressed in designer clothes and sunglasses with a crown on his head.
We had a talking head about this very practice, and I mentioned that in Latin America, at least in Bolivia, this is commonplace, where you'll take someone's body and celebrate them in the manner of where they lived rather than laying them in a coffin.
Well, a lot of people are bothered by this, but a fellow rapper named Black Fortune was there, and he says, quote, as long as his mother was happy, that's all that matters. But the club actually apologized and said nobody told them the body was going to be on display during the event. I saw the video of the body up on stage and the celebration, and kind of looked like a big party in there. He was dead as a doornail up on the stage. Kind of odd, for my
Well, it's a tame performance compared to the rest of his.
Yes, not as energetic. Thank you. God, that was too soon. Yesterday, a 71-year-old woman in Oregon named Nancy Brophy, she went on trial, excuse me, for allegedly murdering her husband 4 years ago. The reason this is interesting is that in 2011, she wrote an essay called How to Murder Your Husband.
Oh, no.
Probably not the best idea. She also wrote a romance novel called The Wrong Husband. Wow. A little bit of a theme there. But the judge ruled that those facts can't be entered into evidence, so the jury won't know that she wrote these books.
Why? That's
I
pertinent.
don't know. When we first heard about Nancy's arrest in 2018, that's all the way back when that happened. But at the time, there weren't many details other than her husband had been shot and killed at work, and there weren't any witnesses. Nancy wasn't a successful writer, and if she did it, she wasn't a successful murderer either, because a lot of things are pointing to her, like a life insurance policy. Old school. An order for a ghost gun that you assemble yourself, an order for a replacement gun barrel, and surveillance footage placing her nearby. The defense claims the gun stuff was her researching material for a book, and everything else is circumstantial. So we'll have to wait and see. So, yes, there's that. Thank you, bro. I like Wallet Hub. I love their lists. I do. Wallet Hub just released its annual report where they rank 182 of the biggest cities in the U.S. from the healthiest to the least healthy.
Ooh.
Seems on our mind lately. The rankings are based on 43 different factors, including overall average physical health, overall average mental health, healthcare costs and quality, COVID rates, nutrition fitness levels, and local parks, trails, and bike paths. In the end, the 10 healthiest cities in the United States are, I'll start at the bottom, Washington, D.C. There you go. South Burlington, Vermont, Denver, Colorado, Austin, Texas, Honolulu, Salt Lake City, Portland, Oregon, San Diego, Seattle, and San Francisco coming in at number 1.
Wow.
These are the 5 least healthy. Brownsville, Texas, Gulfport, Mississippi, always Mississippi, Laredo, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, and Jackson, Mississippi. So Mississippi, a great place to live, as per usual.
I don't. Is it because I know DC is the way it is because it's got access to all these public parks. It's built in a way, and it's actually celebrated nationally for all of that. And we have the unfair advantage of having federal parks, which is a lot of green space.
Yep.
Is the Gulf? I've never been to Mississippi. What is it like?
I think it's diet. I think it's diet and obesity and all those factors. I think that's what contribute to it. A lot of fast food, that type of thing, But I've never spent a lot of time in Mississippi,
You should go.
I don't know. I don't think. I think I'm going to pass. But thank you for recommending that. And now a little something, Oscar. The Final Four last night. We'll have something in the
late game.
Soundtown for
late
that.
game.
Jim Nantz definitely gave the people their money's worth during Monday night's NCAA title game. This is Jim Nantz's week with the Masters and the Final Four. The veteran sportscaster went viral during the first half of North Carolina-Kansas for his hilarious line about Tar Heels forward Brad Manick. It was a strong half for Manick, who had 9 points on 3 triples to go along with 4 rebounds and 2 blocked shots. In response to Manick's excellent play, Nantz hit the viewers with, "It's just another Manic Monday." I had to give Jim his props on that one, Pony. We got to get out of here. Coming up, we'll talk about little travel arrangements. Yes, I think I think you need a getaway. I think you need a getaway in the Florida sunshine, and we'll have to modify our behavior in honor of our buddy. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to or maybe not. You're listening to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody.
I like baseball.
The one constant through all the years has been baseball.
I'm having a lot of trouble with Little League. I'm watching this other coach. He's loud. But the thing is, the kids are doing what he says.
First base, second base, third base, home.
Go to second. Go to second.
Second base.
Tell him to go to second.
Who's on first? I don't know. Third base.
It's not about the winning and losing at this stage, but at least come on.
There's no crying in baseball.
I'm trying to control it.
Catch all the exciting action of TMOS all season long in 5K.
Holy cow.
On Facebook, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, Alexa, TikTok, and at MikeOMaraShow.com.
How about that?
I want to win.
Hey, they're back. They're back, everybody. Fantastic promo. Thank you, Twitch, and thanks for reaching out, Twitch. And also Jim Amato. Good guys. Really, really, really terrific. Hey, it's about time to dump the madness of your old expensive shaving routine by trying Harry's. We love that Harry's are back with us. Betting on the underdog can pay off big, especially with a company like Harry's that teams up quality and construction methods with incredibly fair pricing. New customers can redeem a Harry's trial set for just $3 when you go to harrys.com/TMOS. Now listen, you should not have to choose between a close, comfortable shave and a fair price. So here's what they do. They give you both. Harry's blades are designed to stay sharp longer. In a recent study, guys who shave 4 times a week said their 8th shave was as smooth as their first. I know this for a fact with Harry's because I use it every day. It's a better experience every shave and big savings over time, and it feels good to support an up-and-comer instead of big razor. Harry's is giving their best offer to our listeners. New Harry's customers can redeem a starter set. You get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover to protect your blades when you're on the go. That's a $13 value for just $3. There's truly never been a better time to try Harry's. Go to harrys.com/TMOS to try it today. Harry's.
Mike, let me take a moment here for any of our listeners that love Harry's. Gift it for Easter.
Yes.
Show them what we do here at TMOS. We move units.
Yes, that's what they want from us. Please, please, please. It's important, people. All right, what's also important is I have a room in the house now, Oscar, and you should be aware of this, that is now completely empty. Mrs. O'Mara is going to be venturing out today to look for what is called a cabinet Murphy bed. So the only thing that's going to be in there is the Murphy bed cabinet, and then, who knows?
Yes.
But it's time to relocate. I think what I'm going to probably have to do is get Comcast out here to move the source of my modem and also my internet
Your
connection
router,
right here. Even though I've got a cable, I think it's easy to do for them, but they have to come out and do that.
Absolutely.
So you have mentioned to me when I kick out wires and when I do that, you are a bit of a savant when it comes to throwing a studio together.
Yes.
And I don't think it requires that much work, but I wouldn't mind another.
It does.
What do you mean? What?
Don't discount the amount of time and work it takes for you or me to do something like this.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah. I'm just saying.
At least
I
2 days.
Mind. You have offered to come down for a long weekend or a weekend, and hang out. So no time like the present. What do you say about next week?
Well, you really don't know. Flights would be expensive a week in advance, right? So we got to get. Let's see what they cost.
I can wait as long as you want to wait.
No, I just want to be realistic about this. I would like to.
I want to be realistic too.
I want to. This is what I want to do. I want to purchase a studio array of lights, have them delivered to your home. If you're open to it, a real teleprompter. So you have a real teleprompter in front of you. So you have everything you need. Like it's a real studio. My question to you is, we've had two lines of communication here. One is like, I want my own space. I need a little footprint because I need this to wheel around and move it, get out of my way as soon as possible. What do you want?
What I want is that because I am space challenged down here, this is going to be a room where I do my work, but it's also will double if I have overflow in the house to pull that bed out and have some and as a guest room.
Yes.
That's all. That's all.
But you can have one wall just for your gear, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I can have one wall for my gear, and I don't think it will impinge on anything. Could be a corner. I've got the furniture. I don't see any reason why this table has to be
agreed. That's the same. That's the same table.
Utilized.
I think for lighting.
I think you'd probably know your way around it a little bit better.
Oh, absolutely. I'd actually move the cables higher.
So you don't
as
have to
far
bend over
as
anymore. My little Mackie unit, I don't know whether that's a little long in the tooth.
We can bring down a new unit. It's not a problem.
Okay. I'll make myself available to you when it's a convenient weekend for you, and we'll do this. I'll do the show in this studio in the interim. Just give me the dates, and when I do, I'll make sure Comcast is here, and we're all hooked up with the internet there.
Yeah,
so
I'm happy to do it. I just want to make sure. The two things I would need is there's a software that I think anybody, if you're remodeling your home or you're working with an interior designer that may be away, especially online these days, there's so many apps that will take a 3D CAD of your room just by using your phone, your iPhone. If you have a LiDAR detector, if you look at the back of your phone, you either have 1, 2, or 3 different lenses that look like a camera lens, but then there's a little black dot. That's the LiDAR detector. And that, yes, you have it right there on your phone, Mike, your model phone. There's an app called Canvas IO, if I'm not mistaken, and that one will allow you to scan your room, no problem whatsoever. And
all right, will you text me those apps?
Yeah, I'm gonna text it to you. I'm gonna text you directly. But for anybody out there that's ever looking at this, because then I can measure out your room before I even arrive.
That's wonderful.
Right?
I just
the
send you
future's here.
I love this.
The future's
I love
here.
the idea of doing this and doing it the right way. And the only thing that'll be in there by the time hopefully you get here, we'll have that little cabinet. We're not going with a big wall unit of bed
I
and
want
all that. We're
my
keeping
dream
it
is
minimal.
for you to walk in and flick one light on, and the whole array of your lights come on for your broadcast. And nobody can touch them except for you because the app is on your phone. That you hit one button on your phone and everything just comes up, lights up.
And you can do this.
I can do that.
You don't need any help.
No, just you and I. And I need to be left alone. As I told Reed Galen, please.
Oh, that's where you
go
jumped
watch
ahead.
Sports.
You skipped ahead.
Just watch sports. I will build it.
Would you like to go to Iguanamia?
Yes, as a treat.
I can't. Well, I have my nutritionist. Anyway, I'm thinking ahead. So you answered. Damn it.
You watch
answered
me
the
eat.
question.
Yes.
I can't. I will be. Here's the way I will do it. I was going to ask you, because you have always said this with any studio builds where I've been around. You have said to me that, and now, of course, I'm a little paranoid, though. You went out and bought Robb the wardrobe, and then he got sick. That you're going to come down and do this studio, and then I'm going to be like, Oscar, I can't feel my right side. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
that is not anything we should be joking about.
I didn't
think
everybody goes at some point. That's the way it goes.
But not after we just spent like $1,500 at Joseph A. Bank.
That's fine. You answered the question.
Yes.
You don't. You think that I cause tension when I'm
I know
around.
you do. Because what you do,
I'm
this
a little
is
different than I was.
You sidle up with your crotch in people's faces and look down, and you're like, okay.
Well, I don't bend. I don't.
Yes.
Bend or twist.
So I got full crotch right in my face.
Okay.
And then you're like, what can I help with? I'm like, well, if I could see your face, that'd be great, and not just your crotch.
Okay, so
you know what I mean.
You're saying
let me crawl around. Let me.
You
build
will
it.
holler at me if you need something to be lifted or moved, but otherwise, just stay out of your way.
You can actually go play golf. By the time you get home, a lot will be done.
Oh,
I wouldn't take offense to that.
That's fine. So I'm thinking a Thursday evening.
Yes,
flight
that sounds
down
good.
here.
That sounds good.
Afternoon, evening flight.
Yeah,
right.
We do the show,
and then a Friday and a Saturday. We maybe bonus from the house. On Friday. And then, Friday, Saturday, and then you blow out of town on Sunday?
I'll shoot a BTS video for TikTok.
A BTS video? What's that?
Behind the scenes.
Oh, hey, very good. Behind the scenes. That sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to that. It should be really, really fun. So, just ballpark it for me because you know how I work. When we're doing this,
this is like having $10,000 into our show account so I can do some shopping. And then... we'll just go from there.
What?
Hello?
What did you just say? I need to.
Where do you think all this equipment's just going to materialize?
Okay.
We got to put the order in.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll talk off air.
That. Thanks. He just threw me.
Golf simulator, studio.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for that. What dates are you thinking? What weekends are you thinking? May? May?
I would like to come before then, but I can't guarantee it. We'll see.
All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
If you missed the latest bonus show, you missed a lot.
I'm wearing a suit, but I'm not wearing a tie this time, and I don't care.
Full frontal.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hey, get your nose out of your shrimp cocktail. It's for the kids.
I don't like losing control. My face was melting. It wasn't fun.
Oh, my darling, knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
If I'm going to rate mine for looks, I'm lucky if I'm a 7.
What the hell is going on?
The TMOS bonus show is your only chance to get that 5th hour of comedy power, and it's sent to your device every Friday. Try a week, a month, or a whole year. Your support keeps that comedy train chugging. Get your subscription today. Click the bonus show banner now at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by our friends at Cornerstone. In an anticipated move, the Fed has raised rates for the first time since December of 2018 in attempts to get the inflation under control. So what does this mean for you? While the days of ultra-low rates may be behind us, the days of saving money are right now. Consumer COVID debt is still at all-time highs, and with home equity, the highest it's been in 45 years, you can take cash out for any reason. And it may be tax deductible. Do yourself a favor, whether it's a purchase or refinance, call my good friend Mark Livingstone and his team. They're so good at Cornerstone First Financial. The spring housing market has kicked off, and with limited inventory and droves of people coming off the sidelines, believe me when I say you want Cornerstone First in your corner. With their no obligation rate quote and 100% satisfaction guarantee, why would you call anyone else? Call Cornerstone First Financial, the friend of the TMOS listener, 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. And do me a favor, when you call Cornerstone, don't ask them if you can arrange to have houses in your neighborhood sell for cheaper, which I'd like to do. Because there's a standard line down here in Southwest Florida, Oscar, and the line is, well, where would you go? And that's the way it is.
So
because
true.
the prices have been booming, but the idea of selling your house, if you want to stay in the area you're in, is not really feasible. because your windfall of what, plus 100% in some cases that you're going to get for your house is going to be matched by overpaying for the house in the next neighborhood over. I want to talk about cars for a second here because two things.
I just had a long conversation with my brother about your car.
About my car?
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, Mike, Mike's been talking about cars for some time, and he at one point fell in love with the Genesis. And he said, I think I'm looking at a Genesis. Isn't that part of the Hyundai family? And I said,
it is.
I said, it's supposed to be the Rolls Royce of affordable cars.
Here's the thing about my car. And I know my schedule. You can laugh about my schedule if you want, but my schedule is usually 2 hours or so getting ready to do this little show, then an hour and a half doing this show. In the meantime, I love my hobby. I love getting out there and hitting the egg. And I also take my son at about usually 5 after 7 every morning. We go to school. It's our me time together, and we have a great time with that. And then sometimes I pick him up in the afternoon, running around, running errands. This weekend, I did a little household project that I screwed up with fixing a golf cart. To make a long story short, I have neglected my automobile. I have neglected my automobile, and I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but for the first time, when I went through the Starbucks, I was aware of what my car looked like in the interior. My car was under some sort of flora down here in Southwest Florida, where it looked like there was this brown, sappy crap that dripped all over my my windshield. And then on the interior of my car is a power drill, an empty sandwich box, also two Craftsman ratchet sets, and probably 3 or 4 empty beverage containers. And I look to the right, and I look like I'm living in my automobile. Yes. So it's just, it's not, I have to tend to it. Don't know when I'm going to find the time.
Who has the time?
It's not like going through the drive. This is the interior, and the interior has to be tended to.
You also have a child.
I
right?
do. Mm-hmm.
So a child, let's say, makes 50% of that mess. So it's not just you.
Well, he gets in the back, and I haven't even I'm mentioning the front seat. I don't even know what the back looks like right now because he's back there, and he wants his little after-school snack that he has. And by the way, he's 8 years old, so he's still in a booster seat.
Yeah.
And I have to clean that car. And and by the way, Mrs. O'Mara has the foresight to put, we've done this a while. He's got a pad underneath the car seat. But that car seat has science projects in it that I can't even identify. And I said, what do you do back here? And I said, Michael, the next time you get your little smoothie and you decide it's maybe not your cup of tea at that time in the afternoon, you don't leave that. I'll be driving along multiple times in my car, and I'll be like, I'm reasonably sure there's some sort of corpse in the back of the car right now. There's something dying or in the process of decaying in the back, so I just have to tend to it. That's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about brand makes, models of cars. Makes primarily. You do a lot of traffic in D.C., you do a lot of commuting around, you drive a lot. Do you ever get the feeling like I do that there is a type of car that matches up with a type of driver where, for example, I call the drivers that are tentative and make the line go slower Honda mommies. I call them because they all seem like they're, what's the minivan for Honda? Are they Odyssey?
Odyssey.
Is it a Honda Odyssey? So I will go, there's another Honda mommy, where 14 lengths of cars have driven and she is in Space Town.
Yes.
And then it moves, and I call them Honda mommies. When it comes to difficulty with drivers being a little obnoxious, and I think the BMW driver still might take the cake.
Well, it is the ultimate driving machine, Mike.
It's the ultimate driving machine. I get it. I get jokes.
In the district, I actually don't go by model. I go by tags. A DC driver.
Vanity plates?
No, I go by, if your tags are from DC, Maryland, or Virginia.
Okay.
A DC driver, by rule, knows DC because they've grown up in DC. You can't get tags unless you're an actual resident. They're ball breakers about it. There's not even something people have tried to work the system. Unless you're a congressman or a senator, you can't get away with murder here by just having different tags all the time. They will get you and they will fine you up the zing-zang to get them. So if you're a DC tag, you got DC tags, I'm like, okay, they're probably going to be great. Where I throw the big red flare up when I'm driving, it's when there are Maryland tags, and I'm from Maryland. Mike, and when I see Maryland tags, I know this is going to be a problem.
Because of the quality of driving?
It's going to be stop to stare at anything that looks like a monument. There are buildings that look like monuments, but they're not monuments. That's just the architecture. They will stop.
So there's a tourist factor with the Maryland plates.
They will stare, even though they live literally 20 minutes away. They will stare at everything like it's the first time they've seen it.
So it's not the tag. It's not the brand of car. It's
there is
the
one
tags.
car, a Toyota Camry with Maryland tags.
I'm going to give you a ding for the Camry. We have those down here.
With Maryland tags is my arch nemesis.
Right.
Because two things are happening. Either that's an Uber X driver or a Lyft driver that's looking for their guy or gal. Don't blame them for working hard. You still got to know how to drive. Or it's someone coming into the big city to figure out which garage they have to park in because somehow addresses don't work in GPS.
It's great you mentioned the Camry because that's on my list. You've got the Hondas and the Camrys.
Yes.
The Camry down here, I don't know if they make it anymore. I don't think they do. Do they still make the Camry Solara, which is the Camry convertible? Have you ever seen that one?
I know it very well, Mike. I have dreamt of that car when I was a young buck.
I did a survey down here. The people now that drive the Camry Solara, the average age of the driver in Southwest Florida that drives a Camry Solara is 335 years old. There was a Camry Solara coming out of my neighborhood the other day where I have to go the length of maybe one football field to get from the turnaround in my community to the last gate to get out. And 45 minutes later, when I'm looking at Mr. Havisham driving his Camry Solara, I think we should have a peachy convertible, hon. It's very, very frustrating.
The other cars is a line of cars, but not more of the tags, is the exotic cars.
Yeah.
I am shocked that in the big city where there's a lot of wealth, that there are more than one or two Ferraris you'll see in a day. And you're like,
really? Like often you see Ferraris?
Yeah, there's one. There's a cigar bar next door that has this like neon blue Ferrari that parks outside after that gentleman gets off of work. He just parks right in front of there. When these hypercars or supercars are driving around the city, watch out because they're so low to the ground. That they're looking for potholes at all times. Right. So they'll zig and zag at any moment. To spare
and
they're
hard to see. They're hard to see when they're in front.
Yes,
that's why I saw the big wheel truck out on Route 75 down here in Florida make a lane change. Didn't see the Corvette in front of him and rolled right up on the back of him.
Right,
rolled right up on the back of him. Middle of the highway, they cruised. I told that story. They got off at the exit and they didn't stop. Which means they were probably running drugs or had an outstanding
illegal
warrant. I've categorized
tags,
multiple levels of cars. So your BMW, if there is an a-hole to be had,
They think they're race car drivers. My brother-in-law, he's a good man. He's an a-hole driver.
A-hole driver happens to be in BMWs more than any car. Your a-hole youngsters, and these aren't cheap cars, but they're out there, are your Jeeps, your real Jeeps, not the Jeep Cherokee or anything. Your Jeep, whatever it is, the Wrangler. Your Jeep Rubicon Wrangler. That skews young. The other a-hole youngsters, they drive pony type cars, right? Where they've got the jacked up little Japanese import, right? And that sucks
I don't have
too.
that anymore.
You had that for a decade of your life.
Did.
It's part of your identity. Yes.
Don't you drive your mom's car now? Aren't you driving your mother's car?
Stop that. I have a Kia Stinger.
Yeah, but your mom drove it.
She has a Kia Stinger as well.
Yeah, they have matching Kia Stingers.
She gave you a Kia Stinger, right?
Well,
didn't you buy hers? Then she bought hers. She bought a new one.
No, the other way around.
I don't understand.
You bought a new one and then she got the old one?
She had one before, and I ended up getting one as well because they're really nice cars and easy to drive around here.
They're cool looking. I think they look great.
Glenda's coming up on Friday. I'm going to take him to lunch, Mike.
Oh, really? Oh, that's exciting. That's wonderful.
So I'm really looking forward to it. So what I don't know is this. And I'm gonna look. It was my idea, in fairness.
I'm gonna look. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. All right. Well, hold on. Let me just jump in here because so you got that. You got then you got the Camry. Any Lincoln product whatsoever is usually going to be driven by a 300-year-old person. That's who in there.
All around, yes.
I'm trying to think. Your Ford Explorers. I'm trying to think whether it's all right. You got Ford Explorer. You got a Chevy Yukon, GMC Yukon, Chevy Tahoe. You got those three: Explorer, Yukon, Tahoe. Usually benign. Usually responsible. I
disagree.
Not to
Here in the city, they're all Department of Homeland Security. God bless them.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. FBI, Secret Service. They do what they want, and when they're driving, I stay away because they'll do what they want. And you know what? They should. They're protecting the city.
And let me give you the last category. The most polite muscle car drivers, Dodge Challenger owners. Dodge Challenger owners are responsible.
You're not at all. You're tainted because you owned one.
I had, and I was a very responsible guy.
Yes.
I only got that thing over 110 once. And it was the last day before I was selling it. There was nobody on the road.
Most guys that drive Challengers, a-holes, small dicks.
Last part of this, because we had a break, but I will give you Oscar. Okay, I don't want to give it away with the question, but I'm going to say, all right, the number one midlife crisis car down here in Southwest Florida. There's one. I think it might be Quiet, Frankie!
Yeah, Frankie.
It might be a Midwestern thing.
Oh. Sports car?
Sports car.
Is it the new Corvette, the mid-engine Corvette?
Bingo. There, you got it. Yeah. One guess. That was fantastic. Well done. That was great. Yeah.
Bingo,
the Corvettes.
Bingo.
They love their Corvettes.
The new Corvettes are beautiful, though.
I know they're beautiful, but I always think that if I were ever to be a Corvette driver, it would identify the fact that I have a small penis. That's just the way I've always looked at it. We have to take a break. Soundtown, right around. Really good Soundtown today. We'll do that when we come back. You, ladies and gentlemen, are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello, everybody. This is Bob Barker. And yes, I'm still alive. When I was hosting The Price is Right from Television City in Hollywood, we played a lot of pricing games. Barker's Bargain Bar, Hole in One, Punch a Bunch, Grocery Game, Golden Road, Plinko, and of course the lamest one of all, the bonus game. I hated the bonus game. If you want a good bonus, why not try the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show? It's a commercial-free, uncensored 6-hour of TMOS every week. Blah, blah, blah. I like when they say bad words. That's how much it meant to me. You can buy it at MikeO'MaraShow.com. It's a fun way to support TMOS. Thank you. And don't forget to help control the internet population. Have your podcasters spayed or neutered.
Thank you, Bob.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Bob. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. You know, quality sleep is important, but so is getting enough sleep. Sleep duration is how long you slept compared to your sleep goal, which should be between 7 to 9 hours per night, which was really my goal last night. I went super early to bed, and if it hadn't been for a Boston Terrier named Winslow, it would have been the perfect night. But we'll talk about that another time. Sleep Number can help you reach your optimal sleep duration, which means fewer cravings and less burnout. People who get at least 8 hours of sleep every night tend to consume fewer calories and have better reflexes and extended endurance. Sleep also boosts your serotonin, which is responsible for keeping you alert and less grumpy. And people who are sleep deprived tend to be more frazzled and forgetful. Remember, sleepers who routinely use their Sleep Number 360 smart bed features get almost 100 more hours of proven quality sleep per year. Be like me. Get a Sleep Number bed. I wouldn't sleep on anything else because a great day starts the night before. I never think about it. It's just so good. I know I'm going to get a good night's sleep in my Sleep Number. My setting is now a 65. Carla hangs in there at a 65. Discover special offers now for a limited time at your local Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com/TMOS. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep.
What a sound. Did you hear that? Make some noise.
Soundtown. Yes, the big national championship last night in the NCAA. You said it's a late game, Oscar.
What a comeback. I stayed up. Look, UNC was up big at halftime. I think almost 20 points, if not a little more. And then I sat there and I was like, oh, this is such a horrible game. Mike, Kansas came back.
The Jayhawks. The Jayhawks win. The Jayhawks win. Here's the call to the game with the UNC against Kansas last night.
Okay, it's going to be Johnson to inbound. Here we go. Manick circling around. He slipped underneath. They go to Love. Love's going to be the one to take it. Puts up the shot. It's off. The game is over. And Kansas completes the biggest championship comeback all time.
Nance knows how to do it, doesn't he? The biggest championship comeback of all time. I'm not a basketball guy, but I appreciate the game and
unless you're a UNC
spectacular.
fan.
That had to be horrible for them. When you're on the other end of that, it's
if you're
not
a gambler,
cool.
you think you've won that bet.
Yeah, it sucked for them, but phenomenal for the game of basketball. A tape has surfaced of an 11-year-old Prince. He's interviewed, and I think it's a local news station that's interviewing him about a teacher's strike. And it's just kind of interesting to hear the way he sounded when he was 11 years old, and just to see him. He looks like Prince in the video, but this is Prince at 11 years old.
Are most of the kids in favor of the picketing?
Yep.
How come?
I think they should get a better education too, and I think they should get some more money because they be working extra hours for us and all that stuff.
There he is. That's Prince at 11 years old, which I just thought was weird.
His face, he already had the features.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
It was very, very interesting to see them. So this is a little slice of the good world for you. They're wonderful people out there all the time. And health has been very much on our minds with Robb and what he's dealing with right now. There is a pharmacist, and the pharmacist has a customer. That's the extent of their relationship, ladies and gentlemen. The customer needs a kidney, and the pharmacist made the decision to donate a kidney to essentially a stranger. Wow. Listen to this.
For me to be able to live, I said either somebody's got to die or either somebody's got to be willing to give up themselves.
I feel like God puts people in your path for a reason, and I felt like Daddy came to my pharmacy for me to help him.
And she said, I want to give you my kidney. Well, tears came to my eyes because I wouldn't expect her to say that. And we was the same blood type. We was both O positive. We did the fist bump together. And from there, she started doing her test, and she was a perfect match for me. And Kathleen is my angel from heaven.
Now, I played that tape for two reasons. Number one, it's a marvelous story about man's humanity and how this woman gave her kidney to that particular guy. And the other reason I played it was I like the way he turned that name into a 3-syllable word. Kathleen. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I hope he's doing well. Thank you very much. I'm a huge fan of Vera Farmiga. I loved her in the movie Up in the Air with George Clooney, where she's the love interest that actually has a family and he doesn't know about it. And of course, she's in the Conjuring franchise as well. And she's just she's a terrific actress. I didn't realize that she's Ukrainian.
Yes.
She's a Ukrainian American. And, some of these wonderful, unique-looking... I think, look, Ukrainian people are just fascinating to me. The men look as tough as nails, and some of the women are just strikingly beautiful. They're doing a benefit for Ukraine. I didn't know that Vera Farmiga is a metalhead.
Really?
And Vera Farmiga gets on stage with Iron Maiden and sings. This is Vera Farmiga, the beautiful, sensitive actress. Listen to her banging this one out.
I'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. You must be, but I'll run you through. When you're waiting for the next attack, stand as a turning back.
Makes me like her even more.
I love it. She's doing the riff, too.
It's amazing.
I think it's called The Shooter, I think. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not a heavy metal. Jimmy will know it. Jimmy will know that. So that's Vera Farmiga. I think that's fantastic. This is it's a sweet little sound town today because I don't know. I'm just in the mood. Man's humanity to other men. Vera Farmiga singing heavy metal, and now a little cutie pie singing a classic oldies. Only love grows where my rosemary goes. Some of you 60-plussers will know this song, and listen to this little wonderful kid singing this.
She don't got no money, her clothes are kind of funny, her hair is kind of wild and free. Oh, close where my rosemary go, and nobody knows like me.
Isn't that sweet? Isn't that
sweet?
Yeah, she was 18.
Now leaving SoundCloud. Please come again.
We gotta get out of there. I like it when I get you with those, Oscar. It's a good way to end the show. Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Yeah, thought of that at about 6:30 this morning. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Thanks to Robb Spiewak for joining us. We appreciate it. Robb, hope you feel better every single day. And you know, we all, from the bottom of our hearts, we love you big time, my friend. And can't wait to talk to you again real soon. That's it. We got to roll. We got to bounce, as the kids say. Or maybe they said in 1950. For Robb Spiewak and Oscar Santana, and also Ponyboy, Stinger, Matt Bloom, this is Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it. What about my asthma? I'll give you asthma.
Get in the hole!